After the success of the first Pillars of Eternity, Obsidian Entertainment returned to crowdfunding, this time on Fig, and asked fans to fund the sequel. After a very successful campaign that gathered 4.4 millions, in 1 year and a few months later, they released the new Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. Was the sequel a worthy successor to Pillars of Eternity 1? Let's find out. You play as the Watcher of Kad Nua, the protagonist of the first game. The game starts with Eothas, the god of light and rebirth, possessing the huge Aedra statue beneath your keep and setting off to the Deadfire archipelago. Before leaving though, he drains the people of the keep of their souls. You wake up in the in-between, just in time for a meeting with the goddess of death, Berath. This is where you can either import your save file from the first game, if you have it, or go through a series of questions about what you chose in the first game if you don't. Shortly after, you wake up on a ship on the way to the Deadfire archipelago. In this second game, you will be exploring the Deadfire archipelago. You have a ship which you can upgrade with various equipment or even change to a better or bigger one. A new addition to the series is the sea combat. As you now have a ship, sometimes traveling through the seas, you will encounter pirates, slavers or other dangers. You have a crew, and you can recruit more that take certain positions on the ships, like the navigator, deckhands or cannoneers. Unfortunately, the ship combat was probably the weakest part of the game. While not overly hard to deal with encounters, the gameplay mechanics, which play through interactive cutscenes, are not really that exciting and get old after a while. Fortunately, you do not have to really engage in ship combat apart from a few scripted encounters. The biggest improvement from the previous game is undoubtedly the non-sea combat gameplay. Here, Obsidian breaks off from the usual Dungeons and Dragons routes and gives the player full control of the character abilities on each combat scenario. No longer do you need to preserve your spells or abilities for the next combat. You now have a pool of spells and abilities, and most of them refresh between combat scenarios. There are some abilities, including a new addition called Empowered, which allows you to supercharge your spell or abilities, that have a certain number of uses per rest. Pillars of Eternity 2 shows marked improvement on the classes as well. Each class feels useful and enjoyable to play now, and also you can multiclass, which makes for a variety of abilities and diverse combat encounters. The soundtrack is still excellent, and the addition of sea shanties helps to break up the monotony of traveling from island to island. The graphics are also improved with various effects both in combat and out of it. Obsidian plays a lot more with depth in the sequel to provide some memorable level designs. Last but perhaps not least, the story of Pillars of Eternity 2 manages to take the kinda uninteresting storylines of the first game, give them additional depth and weave an entertaining and impactful conclusion, for now at least. Add to that excellent pacing throughout the game, it took about 66 hours for me to finish the game, and Pillars of Eternity 2 feels fresh and captivating to play from start to finish. Even if you did not like the first Pillar of Eternity, I would recommend trying the sequel. If you did like it, well, it's a no-brainer. Get this and get lost in the Deadfire archipelago.